Voters in Arizona will decide an historic ballot issue in November that could also affect the presidential election. It's a key battleground state with a vote on abortion rights. There's concern among Republicans that some pro-life voters may stay home on Election Day. CBN's Tara Mergener explains why from Phoenix.
Amid stunning desert landscapes and peaceful red rock vistas, a political drama is unfolding. At stake, a ballot measure on abortion rights that could influence one of 2024's most contested states. Proposition 139 seeks to allow abortions up to 24 weeks, overturning the state Supreme Court's decision to reinstate a 15-week limit.
Abortion access will officially be on Arizona's ballot.
State GOP Chair Gina Swoboda says the timing is no coincidence.
That's why the left put it on the ballot. I think they put it on the ballot to drive their turnout. Outside groups are going to spend $100 million in Arizona just on that abortion measure.
The legal landscape has grown more turbulent here since the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade in 2022, eliminating the federal right to abortion.
The state of Arizona went back to the 1864 territorial law, which banned abortion in all situations except for the life of the mother, and in fact criminalized the performance of abortions. We saw very quickly that particularly Republicans in swing areas saw that that was likely an untenable position to be competitive in their overall races.
According to a CBS poll, 65% of Arizonians favor making abortion a constitutional right.
Roe v. Wade was an abomination. But in the meantime, we sort of lost the culture. People didn't understand why every life has value, why every life should be protected. And so that's what we've got to focus on now. And it starts with young people.
National pro-abortion groups are hoping the momentum will help them convince voters to remove two state Supreme Court justices who upheld the state's abortion ban.
We've never have not retained a Supreme Court justice. I think we've only one or two cases of any judge at the superior court or level have ever not survived a retention vote. They're very far and in between. Another issue that kind of elevates some down ballot issues.
The abortion initiative on the November ballot could have ramifications beyond Arizona, spotlighting a key contrast in the presidential race. Vice President Kamala Harris, a proponent of the White House's pro-choice agenda, going up against former President Donald Trump, who appointed 3 justices who helped overturn Roe, making Arizona ground zero in the debate. Pundits say a victory for abortion rights here could shift public opinion across the country in states where the issue is contentious.
Those of us who might live outside those states, it doesn't mean that we're exempt from what's going on there. We still have a stake in that battle.
While the debate is seen as mobilizing Democrats, pro-life advocates fear a large portion of their key voting bloc will not turn out.
We need to talk to the faith-based community. Like 60 to 80% of regular churchgoers don't vote. If this issue is your issue, you need to vote, you need to register.
A new Arizona Christian University poll reveals that a third of evangelicals nationwide do not participate in elections, potentially costing Republicans millions of votes.
It's a major battleground. This is one of those states that needs a lot of prayer from Christians around the country. If we're going to see America turn back to God, we've got to be looking at states like Arizona, because this is where the front lines are of that political and social battle and spiritual battle.
In a state where politics and the life issue intersect, Arizona's decision on November 5th could have far-reaching consequences, lasting long after the election. In Phoenix, Arizona, Tara Mergener, CBN News.
Well, let me remind everyone that Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg didn't think Roe versus Wade was rightly decided. She didn't think it was a good precedent for the Supreme Court. A lot of reasons for that. I'll give you my reason. The Supreme Court should never be a legislature. It should never be, it's not in the Constitution that rights and privileges get established by the Supreme Court. And what that did is it tore our nation apart with these heavy emphasis on Supreme Court justice hearings and just the nightmare of it. Instead of looking at their legal qualifications, their ability to be impartial, it always turned into a litmus test on Roe versus Wade. And in my view, that is absolutely horrible. When Roe got overturned, which was frankly inevitable because it was bad law, when it got overturned, what happened is it went back to us, we the people. We get to vote, and we're the ultimate legislature. We vote for representatives. We vote based on issues. We can vote to amend state constitutions. We can have these kinds of referendums. All of that is within our power. Now, as a Christian, as a citizen, please make sure you register to vote, and please vote. So often I've had to hold my nose when I go into a voting booth, but I still do it because it's such an incredible privilege to vote. Get educated on the issues. If there are particular issues that are important to you, make sure you know before Election Day what the candidates' positions are. And if they agree with you, then please vote for them. If they don't, then please vote against them. It's our privilege to vote. So if you're not registered, I think it might be a little late, but there may be time in your state. Look up those registration laws. I do know that if you are registered, make sure you can vote. And if you're not going to be there voting day, there's plenty of ways with absentee ballots to make sure your voice is heard. We need you this election cycle. The nation needs you. You need to vote. So please vote this year.